Respected that Imandi Sankarao, Chairman, Board of Governor, respected that Imandi Das, Director, respected board members and faculty, alumni of MDI, graduating students, their parents, media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you. I'm truly honored to be here with you on the occasion of the convocation ceremony. I'm sure under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Imandi Das and the guidance from the chairman and board, Dr. Imandi Sankarao and board, and the MDA will soon be ranked amongst the best business school in the world. Dear graduating students, my congratulations to each one of you, your families and friends. I am well aware that how special this day is for you. I am truly happy to be with you to share your joy and excitement. As you cross this important milestone in your life and embark on your professional journey, I am sure you will contribute significantly in bringing economic prosperity to our beloved nation. When our director, Mr. Imandi Das, met me invited me for the convocation, and I asked him, on what subject you want me to talk? He told me entrepreneurship and taking risk. As a big subject, but I will share with you, with my life journey, I will share with you. Before that, you must understand the kind of environment we are living in. Today, times are very different. We are living in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world. World is moving from elected democracy to elected dictatorship. We can see that in Russia, China, Turkey, Serbia, Kazakhstan. At the same time, economic leadership emerging like USA, France, Spain, all the economic business leaders are becoming the head of the changing from the political leaders to economic leaders. These mixed kind of leadership and conflict in aspirations, creating a highly confusing world. We do not know what tomorrow will unfold. Similarly, we are witnessing confusing trends with the globalization and regionalization. The both are happening simultaneously. Recent USA-China trade war, visa restriction by US, now Australia, all are adding complexities in the environment. On the other hand, life of corporates is becoming shorter and shorter. Technology disrupting our lives and business models overnight. The socio-economic environment is becoming very unpredictable and complex. But at this environment, I was told you are by director, you got a 100% placement. Really, my compliments to the management and director for this 100% placement. Really, I am congratulating to all of you for this placement. But one thing I will say you, this education, this qualification, academics will open the first door, maybe second door. If you success in the life, going to ladder, it requires a different skills. Soft skills is required. What is the soft skills? I will share with my life journey, my learnings, what I started from 45 years back, started with the 3 lakhs rupees, today I built 60,000 crores, and coming from a small village, build this. What is the learning I will share with you? Maybe 45 years journey to give the learnings within a 20-25 minutes is very difficult, but I will share I will share maybe 5-10 minutes extra more this. I was born and brought up in a poor village, Rajam, of Andhra Pradesh, 100 kilometers from Visakhapatnam. My family is very weak background of the lower middle class strata of the society, as my father was a small time trader in the villages. He used to trade in jute, pulses and oil seeds. My father used to believe that for trading and addition and multiplication enough, and there is no need for higher studies. But I influenced by one of my teacher, I want to study. My father refused. Well, with a lot of great persuasions, he agreed to pay fee 50 rupees. Then I went to complete my mechanical engineering in 1972. After my graduation, I was in a big confuse whether to go for a job, to join family trading business, or start an industry, or go for higher education. We are four brothers. I was the third one. By that time, my father divided the properties among all his sons by lottery. I got a 3 lakhs and one truck and 5 acres land and one house. The 3 lakhs rupees my father told me to give to brothers on interest, asked me to go take a job. I started my work life with a junior engineer in AP paper mills in Rajahmundry as a shift engineer. Later, I joined in a public works department as a junior engineer, which did not satisfy me since there was no work to do and nothing much to learn. I got something at DNA itself, entrepreneurship is that I want to do something more. Then I quit the job, came to Vizag to start an industry or get a scooter agency. Those days, scooter agency very important. But after months of my hard work, nothing materialized. I came back to my village, joined as a partner with brothers in the family trading business. I started understanding the fundamentals of the business and dealing with the farmers. It was not a big business, but trading pulses and jute and oil seeds. That was the learning of fundamentals of business acumen. It was not easy for an engineer to sit down with the farmers and the small traders and negotiate with them. Earlier in college, that is in Andhra University, I used to be very arrogant, egoistic student leader. And however, dealing with the negotiating with farmers is finding very difficult. That made me in the process, lot of humility I learned during that process. In the short period of time, with a great hard work, I increased the trading business manifold. Let me tell you that there is no substitute for hard work. I used to go for about 20 to 25 kilometers on bicycle every day to collect the money, meet my buyers. After the initial success, initial success in the trading, I moved to manufacturing. Those were the days of the license Raj. We are living in a very productive environment. Maybe most of the people, they don't know, maybe some of the directors and the board, they know the license Raj. License Raj means for everything, license from Delhi controlling. If you increase the production, you would get a license. Even constructing a factory, you require a cement, iron, everything quota, for milk, everything quota, sugar. It is a different world in 1975. Those time, I decided to start something in the industry in my village. I came across a jute twine mill in Chennai, which had a license but a CQ net. Why a jute mill? The jute is growing in my area. I decided to buy the CQ net. I pursued hard, negotiated, purchased machinery with the license. After great difficulty, I shifted the machinery to my village. I got the license transferred. With the time concept, this whole process took me for 2 years. Now, getting a finance was a daunting task, as all this time I had no banking relationship. Again, with great perseverance and convincing the bankers, I got the loan sanction. From the very first year itself, I started getting profits. That initial success gave me a lot of motivation and self-confidence. I was on my journey of entrepreneurship. I must say that this first jute mill was successfully because of my passion, patience and perseverance. That is never give up. I never complained about the situations and challenges, but developed the right positive attitude. The positive attitude means normally we built on a complaining. The government is like that, license is like that, my parents are like that. Everything we build on complaining. That is a negative attitude. Positive, this is my situation. I chosen. I want to build a jute mill. This is the situation, this is the environment. I would come out. That with the positive attitude, without complaining, I built that jute mill and successfully run. During the process of seeking opportunities, I got a brewery license, then sugar factory license. I started another jute mill. I started ferroalloys, rolling mills, whatnot. You name it, I was there in that business, including trading in timber. IT company, I started with Panish Murthy, who is come out from the Infosys. and earbuds manufacturing. First time I started in India to export to USA. That was a time when I started different business simultaneously. I started almost 28 businesses, knowingly and unknowingly. I became the serial entrepreneur. I was able to operate so many businesses simultaneously because I used to go deep into details of the businesses, understand the nuts and bolts, formulate the operational strategy, quickly delegate to the management with a trust so that I can work on the bigger goal. I call this as a helicopter approach because of deep dive into details and quickly moving upwards on the surface for the big picture. Then came on my way, there is an opportunity Vaishya Bank. Vaishya Bank is biggest private sector bank in India those days, 1985. There is headquarters in Bangalore. They are looking for the new directors from Andhra because of the RBI guidelines. Since I was very active industrialist in that area, I was approached by bank, then I joined the bank as a director. As it my habit that whatever I take up, I do it with a complete focus and fashion, learning the nuance of the business in details. Hence, I started actively participating, understanding the operations of the bank. In due time, bank business grew significantly. Then, Reserve Bank of India went to they asked us to increase the capital. The capital is 60 lakhs. Because your business has grown up, you would increase the capital. Twice they went to the rights issue, but unfortunately it is not subscribed. Only 50% subscribed. Even though they are giving us a 18% dividend, the then chairman is completely disappointed. He requested all the directors to invest. But nobody has invested this. I was completely in the bank and decided to invest. I invested my share of profits I got from other business. Even I pledged my wife jewelries also. Because that is an opportunity, I thought that it is a very good opportunity. I hypothecated and borrowed some more money and invested that also. I continuously kept on investing and eventually I became major shareholder. My dear graduates, what I want to stress to you on the point that all other directors in the bank were many times economically sound, much more educated. Some of the people, they have come from the USA, Harvard, studied this and experienced than me. Then also they failed to take the risk. However, I understand the importance of the bank for the economy and the country and have this vision for the bank. In the lifetime, opportunities come only once. This is an opportunity that came to me. This is a big game changer, whole my journey of my life. Whenever it, and also it is, we cannot follow, okay, all the directors are invested, why should I invest? I now always think independently. But we cannot follow like this one, what this, you have to, when an opportunity comes, think independently without influencing anybody this. You can take advice, but think independently this. Few years later, then the then chairman along with the core team left to start a new bank because at the economic liberalization, new bank license has given. And he left with all senior top team, he left the bank and started a new bank. There was a big vacuum created in the bank. While I was still based out of my village, as the biggest shareholder with the investment of all my hard earnings in 1994, I had to make sure that survival of the bank. That was a major inflection point in my life. My life savings in the bank moved to city from a village. I used to be from village, from there I used to operate and entering into much broader playing arena. Eventually I moved with the family to Bangalore in 1996. And I realized that we want to growth. We should come out of comfort zone. Moving from a village, having stayed 45 years there, a big time social life, emotionally connection, being the most sought after and recognized businessman of the entire East Coast region. It was not at all easy for me to move to Bangalore. Also, I believe that one should always be closer to challenges to overcome it. If you want to grow, you would come out from the comfort zone, either in the career or in the business. Setting in a Bangalore, I took number of measures to turn down the bank. I significantly improved the operations and governance process of the bank. I brought Bank Bristol Lambert. First time after the independence, we brought from BBL, from Belgium, Bank Bristol Commercial Bank. They invested 5% equity. Later, it is acquired by the ING Vaishya Bank. And that is a life journey in my bank. And also, I brought a lot of technology. First time in the banking sector, I implement the core solution in the Vaishya Bank. As I mentioned earlier, I became the serial entrepreneur, started many new businesses. In the process, I got a brewery license. With a great difficulty to set up a brewery unit, I got the license. After that, I went to public issue, raised the money. Just before starting the brewery, government changed, that is AP government, changed, new leader has come, that is late N.T. Ramarao is the CM. The day he became a CM, he signed the prohibition on liquor on the state, which was a great setback because some of my friends joined with me. The whole team is in a completely demoralized. Because besides the bank, I'm showing the corporate this one, and everybody is depressed. What to do? What we have to do? This 1 year we are complete whole team and we are in a depression. That time the economic liberalization has come. The government in its reforms, in the reform process, invited private sector participation in the power generation. We came across a huge opportunity of Chennai power plant, and we signed an agreement to set up a 200 megawatts of power plant in Chennai. I brought the world best technology in the power plant, successfully implement this. It is very accidentally entered into infrastructure. What I want to say that any adversity, you will get an opportunity. Or Winston Churchill says, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, whereas an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. That is the entrepreneurship. Meanwhile, because those days, a lot of license has given power sector IPP, that is, I'm talking 98, 97, 98. Out of 45, 46 license, only GVK post plant and my plant has come successfully. Other license has not come. That time, I got another opportunity. Somebody, the American company, they sold the license in the barge-mounted the power plant license in Mangalore. That I purchased. That is a very unique project. In a barge, 238 megawatts, 12,000 tons carrying, and within 9 months we built in Bangalore. There is a barge-mounted plant. After the successful completion, these two power plants, that time, at that stage, my children, after finishing their education, joined the business, and they said, we should not do business like this. We had several businesses, 28 businesses, spanning jute manufacturing, ferrochrome, and so sugar, power plants, banking. There's so many more and no connection. The children were of the opinion that if we should not be doing so many unrelated business, hence we brought in an organizational development expert for advice. He said we must have a strategy, should have vision and mission. If you ask me, those days I don't know the meaning of the words vision and mission. At that time, I thought I build the business. Now they are teaching me such a fancy words. However, children persisted saying that since we went to opportunist mode in the license RAS, now economic liberalization has come. We will go into change the strategy. We would go for the strategy mode. With a great difficulty, after 1 year, a lot of fight with the children. At the same stage, we hired McKinsey to guide us in rebuilding the organization by creating a professional setup. McKinsey created a GMR emerging model in which they designed a professional organization setup, brought in delegation of powers, RASKI, clear roles and responsibilities, other process and systems to run the organization professionally. Moving to strategic mode, I divested all the unrelated businesses. Even my most profitable ventures at that time, I divested. We were following our vision. We should build entrepreneurial organization, making a difference to society through creation of value, and also build the institution in perpetuity. Whatever was not fitting into it, we divested because brewery was not creating a value to the society. We had disinvested. Later, I sold IT company to iGate, agri business to EAD Perry. the sugar factories. Except jute mill where I started, that still we are running in a long-term lease, we disinvested everything. But two things is very close to me. Bank also disinvested to ING. Sugar, I built in my village. With great difficulty, I built the sugar factory. It is transformed 25,000 farmers. Another is bank. With a lot of emotion, I built these two. My 50% lifetime for bank, I built. But those things, when I disinvested, a lot of emotional this one happened. But I call this emotional detachment by managing the portfolio, which is very important to scale up strategically. Entrepreneurs need to follow their vision and strategy without any emotional attachment. And also, I embrace the change by changing our strategy with economic liberalization. When every time this economic liberalization or globalization happens, accordingly, we have to change our strategy, we have to embrace the change. Those who are not embrace the change, if you see the history, those who are after economic liberalization, those who are not changing, embrace, they are vanished. You name it, number of companies vanished if you go for the history. Well, my destiny was unfolding something bigger for me. I'm looking for because the strategies to infrastructure, we want to only do the infrastructure. And in this, we are looking for the opportunity in other states. In 1999, AP government called global bidding for the Greenfield Hyderabad Airport. In the beginning, 26 people expressed the interest to participate, but only 3 people participated. Because 99, only 7 aircrafts are there from Hyderabad, Begumpet. And that day I won the bid. One of the people who were MP called me, GMR, everybody says that you bid it, but you will be bankrupt. But I always believe that whatever it has happened in the West is going to happen here also. Again, I visualize the importance of the airport and its future, contributing significantly in the economic growth of the Hyderabad and the nation in large. I fearlessly took the challenge and went ahead. Yesterday we did it a 10-year celebration of Hyderabad Airport. Now yesterday it went to 18 million passengers now. We are planning for 100, expanding now 40 million. Now because of the, now we are planning for up to 100 million now, initial says 40 million. The whole team, how we build this whole team, because it's new to me, the whole airport is new to me. The whole team of ours visited some of the best airports in the world, discussed with some of the global experts and learned from them. We brought the best people in the world. We went to ISB, 3 days we went there, we learned what type of airport we would build. We built the first greenfield airport of the country, which is ranked #1 airport in the world in its category. The key to our success was our willingness to learn and get into details. More important, our attitude of embracing the change, quickly learn and adapt, made us successfully build this world-class airport. Then came to opportunity for Delhi and Bombay airports, that is called Brownfield Airport. As both the airports came for privatization, we submitted our bid for Delhi and Bombay airport privatization amidst a stiff competition. All the top corporate leaders are there. Leading company participated. We were the only bidder to be technically and managementally qualified for both the airports. Then government asked which one you choose. We choose Delhi airport. It was a great challenging experience with the heavy passengers. What is my challenge is, that time we have to, if you are all in Delhi, the airport, if you see that, this is the 10th worst airport in the world. And all the terminal buildings I have to modernize. The runway in a horrible condition. I have to modernize, I have to rebuild recarpet the runway. Simultaneously, I would build up another terminal and third runway I would build, with giving a limited inconvenience to the passengers. And I would build in 37 months. Normally, it will take 10 years. Now, with this, with the positive attitude, we have to interact with the 58 government departments on one side. On the other side, we have to manage to peak 40,000 workers and engineers from 19 nationalists. To add to that, we have to work with the 3,000 airport authority employees with a different culture and mindset. I given for all the 3,000 people, nobody is joined except 18% people, 200 people joined, nobody joined. I parallelly recruit another 1,800 people. And it is very challenging project, but very satisfying too, as we built Gateway of India. Now, today, Delhi Airport last year is announced the #1 airport in service standards. The service standard measures and 34 service parameters in measure. There is ASQ, all the airport they have association. They come every quarter and they measure the 34 service from the toilet to baggage, everything they measure, they give a scale. They measure between 1 and 5 scale. Before last year, we are #2. #1 is Incheon. #2 is Delhi, Changi, Singapore Airport, Bombay, both are #2. That is a 0.002. This year, we are #1. We use the business excellence models, and Hyderabad also this year #1. 10 years, after the 10 years, still maintain the service standard is very difficult. For Indians, we got Arambha Suratam. Initially it's good, after that it will downfall. That's why I put the rate process and systems. Whether I'm there or not, it has to be brand for the country. Anybody coming is a brand. If you see that, anybody sees this whole world is like that. It's giving a tremendous, leaving my academic benefit. I want to be a message to the world, as Indians also can build. With this attitude and spirit, we did it, and with sustainable way we want to do it. We use the TQM, lot of the tools we are using. After successful foray into Indian airport sector, we went to international with Istanbul Airport, Maldives Airport, Cebu Airport in Philippines. These are built and operate. It's not only construction. We built, we own the airports. Delhi, Hyderabad, we have 60 years. This now 10 years complete, another 50 years we have. Recently, we won the Goa Airport. That is a 40 years. Already started the construction. We also have won the rights to develop a greenfield airport in Crete, Greece. Today, we are among the top 5 airport developers globally, handling more than 1/3 of the India's passengers traffic. By this time, we had also created a portfolio of highways and power plants with the gas assets, thermal, solar and hydro-based power plants, somewhere around 5,000 megawatts these. And also we have a special economic zones also. My dear students and graduates, though I have spoken about all my successes, please note that there have been many failures and setbacks as well. My journey has been full of adversities, which I always try to convert into opportunities. In the whole journey, so many times I'm disappointed, depressed, I'm not having a sleeps, and this is the journey happened in 45 years. A lot of adversity happened. With the initial success and raging around, after the Delhi airport success, I went to the IPO and QAP, I raised 10,000 crores. We became egoistic and arrogant and went for the acquisition of 50% stake in world's biggest power giant Intergen for $1.2 billion in Boston. Similarly, we went to, with aggressive bidding, one of the highways, entered into power plants, and also invested $500 million in one of the coal mine in Indonesia. And that is a very, 5 years back it has happened. Then I thought, somebody has to see us because we cannot see our back. That's why I put a Group Performance Advisor Council. And first time in the corporate, we put the Group Performance Advisor Council because in the board, people are not much having time. And if you keep a separate advisor council, I kept a separate advisor council, those were the bankers and global leader Dr. Ramcharan and Damodaran and some of the bankers, O.P. Bhatt, and some of the industrial experts, Pradeep sir, number of people are there. They will interact with all CEOs and CFOs, then suggested 4 or 5 years back, go for the stress test. I went to stress test. They say you are going in a huge, this one. It's better to go for this, change the strategy, asset light and asset right strategy. Then we started disinvesting. 24 assets we divested, and we brought an investor, the Tanega. In today power sector, no strategic investor invests in India because of the challenges. With our pursuance, we brought a Tanega, like an NTPC of India. The Malaysian Tanega company, they invested. And with this, 44,000 crores of my debt has come down to 19,000 crores. The biggest problem for the infrastructure projects is, in India, we are all building the infrastructure for the bank finance. Globally, infrastructure projects built by bond, not by bank finance. Because bank finance is a lot of governance, Basel 1, Basel 3, Basel 4 is there. A lot of issues are there. With this, all our airports, we went to bond. We paid all banks, total Hyderabad airport, we went to last year we went there. It was separate 7 times. We paid to all the banks. And the Delhi airport also, we went to the bond. We paid to the banks. And we went to move to the bond. Now we have challenges. I don't say challenges, but challenges, it is there not to be disappointed that the challenges we are converting into the opportunities. And slowly we kept that. One more thing what we did, from Bangalore we moved to Delhi. The GPAC suggested, sitting in a Bangalore, you cannot work. Then we moved, we have 1,100 people corporate office, we all moved 2 years back. And 850 people moved. You know that from South India moved to Delhi, all the families, very, very great difficulty. Everybody is moved now. That is at the age of 65, 66, moving from Bangalore to comfortable to here. Another one with comfort zone, we moved here. That is made us, today, we are in a above water of the all infrastructure companies. I strongly believe that it is we are within 1 year, we making already we moved to growth pattern, we moved now. Now what I want to say is, ego is today the biggest bottleneck in our lives. Today what happened, all this one bigger ego. Several research by Ohio State University and also Jim Collins have published that majority of the failed business decisions are driven by ego. When ego comes, everything goes, and we know ego goes, everything comes. Please note that there is a very thin line for a person to cross to ego. It happens when we start to think we know everything. We close our minds, do not release others' views. Our curiosity is blacked. We are not ready to consider alternatives suggested by others. We resist feedback and allow only as people to come close to us. We are extremely rigid with our ideas, refuse to be influenced by others. Ego is not only hurting profession or businesses, it is equally damaging our personal lives as well. People are ready to kill relationship, save their ego, rather than save their relationship and kill their ego. There is a famous book, Economics, by Stephen Smith and David Markram, wherein they say that ego is an invisible line item in the balance sheet of every business. The ego, not only the families, the countries is killing this ego because of this fundamental thing. They say when controlled, ego is the greatest asset. And if out of control, it is the most expensive liability. I strongly suggest all of you to read this book. If I read, okay, otherwise reading is implemented. We have to implement in the life. You know everything, but we have to implement. When I took back at my life journey of last 4 decades, where I started from just 3 lakh rupees and successfully created assets worth almost 60,000 crores, I found that our value system was instrumental in my success. Our 7 values and beliefs, which are humility, teamwork, relationship, respect for individuals, learning and inner excellence, deliver the promise, entrepreneur, social responsibility. The values is there, but during that time, 5-6 years, we went to egoistic and arrogant. The missed that is given a big lesson. Recently, last 10 days back, we have a workshop. What is the mistakes we have done? See that not mistakes. We had a 1-day workshop we have done, not to repeat the mistakes. Okay, these are the lessons, but we have to see that not to repeat that. We had a wonderful workshop we have done. The foundation of 7 values is humility. Our humility helped us succeed in ventures where we had no prior experience. Humility helped us gain the trust of our stakeholders, even in a situation of high stress and anxiety. And humility kept us open for learning all the time from everyone and everything. These 7 values have been the bedrock of our growth trajectory despite various challenges. My dear graduates, The soft skills I was talking about in the beginning required for success are strong self-belief, fearless, positive attitude, strong values and fashion. In order to achieve growth, to move from one stage to another higher stage in our lives, you have to come out of your comfort zones. Embrace the change. Think innovatively, take risk. Also, you should work on the platform of abundance, never work on the scarcity. Though I gave my life experience, but there are numerous examples exhibiting these qualities and achieving newer heights. You take Jack Ma of Alibaba, a tremendous hard work and fashion. He used to ride bicycle of 45 minutes to go to hotel, meet foreigners, learn English language. He possessed tremendous positive, never give up attitude. Failed his university entrance exams twice, was rejected from dozens of jobs. He embraced the change by accepting the new internet business model, and there he made his fortune by creating Alibaba. Similarly, Paninda Sama of Red Bus, he was a graduate from BITS Pilani. He came from Nizamabad. His father is not a businessman. He used to work in Texas Instrument in Bangalore. But for Nizamabad, Telangana people, Diwali is very, very important. He wants to go to the Diwali to his native village. He came for the bus, but he couldn't get the bus ticket. Then he thought that something I want to start. Then he seen that opportunity. Along with the 4 people, he started the Red Bus. He made a technology, but it took me for one and a half, 2 years to make it that. Meanwhile, 2 people dropped, 2 friends dropped. But with a lot of patience, I'm cutting the story short, he made it very successful. Then he sold to company for 650 crores, he sold. Another example, Sanjeev Juneja of Case King. He started out from a single room office in Ambala near Chandigarh. For 2 years went around from shop to shop, convincing retailers to stock his product, directly interacting with the customers. He addressed the gap of Ayurvedic product in hair care. Eventually, he sold his company to Imami for hoping 1650 crores. A classical example of fashion, patience and perseverance. The point I'm trying to make is that any success requires these soft skills which I just spoke about. And for developing these soft skills, what is required is a spirituality, which is irrespective of any religion. Normally, spirituality feels that it is a religion. Spiritual knowing and managing yourself. The tools of spirituality, yoga and inner excellence, helps in managing work-life balance, provides a perfect harmony of body, mind and soul. It reduces stress, brings a clarity of thoughts and a greater focus in whatever you do. It helps you to see the door in the wall, which is what entrepreneurs needs to be. What is the entrepreneur definition? Ratan Tata says, all people see door at a wall. Entrepreneur sees in the wall. But one thing is, yoga, they may say, is a big technology, yoga. People are unnecessarily related to religion. It's not this, it's a big science. Also, let me caution you, please do not expect success all the time. There will be certainly failure and setback in our journey. You should have right, positive, never give up attitude. Great people do not give up. They live up through their challenges. My dear graduates, what truly matters is how you evolve as a successful human being. No matter what profession you are engaged in, be it a small-time trading or a multinational company, I strongly say that it should be a purpose-driven and value-led journey. If your means are value-based, the end is always heartening. Remember, you are the author of your own destiny, not the any father at this. You have to write your diary. What you want, it will happen. You are born not just for living, but for to make your mark in the world. And please remember that you have always behaved like a student till you reach your graveyard. With this, I wish each one of you all the very best in your life journey ahead. I'm immensely grateful to MDM management for giving me this opportunity to share my life journey with you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Andy.